Hi guys, it's Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers here for another Finally Friday video. That means it's Friday, so yes, the end of the week is here. I am going to give you guys today a rundown of the sandwiches that you'll make for the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I will show you how it works in comparison to what you already have for how you might be used to layering them through. So if you've got your machine already, let me know how you like it. If you're gonna get one, let me know how you like it. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, Stampin' friends, let's do this. I've already used it a few times. Look, I got a little mark on it. Oh, it comes off. Yay. Got to keep it all nice and pristine. But this is the new machine. That's what I'm going to call it, the machine. It's the Stampin' Emboss and Die Cut machine. But I'm going to call it the machine. That's a mouthful. And I don't want to call it anything else because I don't want to confuse that you think it's going to stamp or cut and emboss at the same time. So that was the side of it. Here's our lovely handle, and that's the only assembly. Put the handle on and it's ready to go. So I'm going to turn it sideways. And these kind of, I don't want to say kerthunk down, but you're going to see my camera jiggling because they are hinged and they're very nicely solid down. It is stuck down pretty good. It's going to move a little bit on my table. If I'm told, if you make sure your pads are clean, which mine got a little, lots of flinklets on them from the countertop. See, I got little paper flinklets and stuff from when I used it. Maybe that's not in there. So keep these wiped off, keep them clean, and you will not have any problems with it jiggling around on the desktop. I actually thought that it had little suction cups on it when I first put it down, first used it. So I'm going to show you guys. I'll try and talk fast. So here's the number 1 plate. It's the base plate. And now I'm a little close for the camera, so I'm going to turn it this way. This one looks exactly the same as the one for the Big Shot. But since we no longer have a relationship with Sizzix, we cannot call this the Big Shot. So our new base plate is wonderful that it shows you what your sandwich needs to be. So I'll start by showing you a thin, just the Thinlits dies. You're going to use this base plate. You're going to use the shim plate, which is number 2. See the number 2? And then this also shows you for the thin dies. You want the base plate, the shim, you want the clear plates, which your old ones will work with this machine. Then you want your paper, and I did bring over some. I'm going to use the early espresso so that hopefully it'll show up better. I got a thin die, and then you're going to put another number 3 plate, which I didn't show you that number 3 on the other one, over the top. And then you're going to just run it through like normal. And I think I will show you. I don't know if my arm is in there, but I am not holding on to anything. Whoops. And I just want to show you how easy it turned, but I'm going to have to, because I'm on my plastic pad that moves around really easy. Because let me put that on the floor and see what we got. Can you see it? So now I'm just gonna show you. See, I'm just rolling it. I'm not even holding on to it, and it rolled right through. It's just like a hot knife through butter. And voila. When I've been using it a little bit, I've been having the die actually just pop right off from the paper. Just like that. Makes a beautiful cut through there. Of course, you're going to need to use the pick tool and the roller brush with the foam to possibly get some of your flinklets out of there, but you're good. that was just the thin die. That's how easily that worked. Now I won't try and show off and run it through without holding on to it next time. So now we can move on to the base plate, telling us if we're going to use a standard embossing folder. You want the base plate, the clear plate, and another clear plate with the embossing folder in between that sandwich. So we're going to put our base plate down. We've got we don't need the shim, the number 2. You don't want that with a basic die or embossing folder. You want your number 3, a basic embossing folder. I'm going to actually use the same piece of paper that I just used. You're going to put that, sandwich that between there with your other number 3. Now, where did I see that? Right here on the base plate. So let me back up to the base plate. Insert embossing folder hinge first. So that's always been a thing, just a lot of people didn't know it. This is the hinge where it connects. That's the hinge. And if you have any embossing folders that broke, it could be because they were wheeled through with the open end first. Seems to be that they like the hinge to go first. And I think our other plates were like this too, but they're at an angle, so it really helps feed it through much easier. So I'm going to give it a little push. I'm just going to rest my hand on the top because it's an initial get-go. But you can see I'm just got my hand there. I'm not reefing down and I'm turning the handle. Easy, easy, easy. And of course you can go faster. I just don't want to jiggle the camera all around. Look at that beautiful embossing on there. So nice. Maybe I got to pull it down. Hopefully I'm not too dark again today. So that's just a regular embossing folder. Now we're going to move on to using a 3D embossing folder. So what's a 3D embossing folder? Well, you're going to see that on the folder itself. Or on it's going to say Old World Paper 3D embossing folder. So our 3D embossing folders are thicker and they are going to give you a deeper etching. And some people even go as far as to spritz your paper first before you run it through the embossing folder. If you spritz it, it dampens all the fibers, so it really gets to crunch in there when you run it through. But I'm not going to spritz it just right now. So that wants the base plate, then the embossing folder with the paper inside, and then the number 4 plate. I didn't lift that up to show you. Then the number 4 plate. So what's the number 4 plate? That is this plate with the number 4 on it. And for anybody with the Big Shot, that's also your blue plate. So if you get the new machine and you have a blue plate, this will work as if the number 4. So you have 2, because I believe it should come with it. Maybe it just came with it. No, it came right in the package, so it should come with the number 4. So I'm rolling it through slowly so I don't jiggle the camera too much. I ran it through with the hinge first, like it said, and voila. That is the Old World. Isn't that cool? I love this one. That's the Old World paper embossing folder. Okay, finally, not on this plate, but many of you are going to have yourself an old version with the Sizzix. You'll see Sizzix is gone on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss embossing folders. That's what this guy is, Stampin' Cut and Emboss. These are for Sizzix Big Shot for Stampin' Up. They are called Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folders. These are like our new 3D embossing folders. However, they're thicker, still thicker yet than the our 3Ds. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to stick another piece of paper in there, and I'm going to show you. It is not on here. If you were to say, oh, this is a 3D embossing folder, I'm going to use my gray plate. I will show you. You're going to start to roll, and it's not going to want to go. Do not force it. You will wreck your machine in no time. What you want to use for the old Sizzix embossing, 3D embossing folders, the dynamic textured impressions folders, is your number 3 plate. Just one. You're going to use the base plate, the Sizzix embossing folder, and then your clear plate. It's gonna run through like butter. So there you have it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. My favorite new tool. I love it, I love it, I love it. Highly recommend it. And that's it, everybody. I just wanted to give you a run through of all the plates again. The clear ones, you can see mine is starting to warp. I need to make sure to flip them over, rotate them. Do not continue to use the dies in the same spots. You see, I'm kind of favoring the center, and I'm getting it to start to warp. So make sure that you're moving them, moving your die around, flip them over, and things like that to keep them from warping. But that's our new emboss and cut. Is that what it's called? Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine. So, the machine. You saw it right here with me. We'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you guys later. Okay, guys, I forgot to tell you when I was doing the video that the blue plate, I told you the blue plate and the gray number 4 plate were the same thing. Let's find them. If you have a big shot and you failed to get or still need to get this blue plate, you can order it when it goes live in the catalog as this number 4. And it's called, let me find out what it's called and I will come right back and let you know. It is called the specialty plate. Let's see if I can hold up my catalog. On page, whoops, I'm getting you all over the place. On page 172. So when you're ready, if you need a blue plate, you'll want that right there, the specialty plate. You will be able to order all the plates when the machine goes live September 1st for people to order. But in particular, the blue plate. I've had a few people ask me about how the blue plate works with this new machine. So that's what you need if you're in need of a blue plate. You'll want the new gray one, number 4, the specialty plate. Bye. Have a great weekend.